All right. Everybody knows this is not the chapter that I want us to focus on, but I'm going to finish it today. The chapter that I want us to focus on is reproduction, and I give you a lot of the important statements and words, but it's important that I quickly cover this one that we started last time and we finish it. We can move very fast. I'll finish it in a day, okay? Or maximum 2 lessons, I'll be done. Let me say, this chapter is called Chapter 7, Human Nutrition. So I'm recording as I'm saying this because at some point maybe you need to come back and revise something from this chapter as you are answering questions in your exams. So you're doing your exams, maybe you're going to need to come and revise something from Chapter 7. So I'm going through it right now. But of course, the one I want to do with you guys is reproduction. It's very big. We'll do it. Listen to this. Chapter 7 is Here is chapter 7, human nutrition. We have 21 chapters, okay? For biology, we have 21 topics, and this is topic number 7, right? So for you to say you know the whole of topic number 7, what must you know? That's the question that I want you to ask me. What must I know for me to say I'm good at this topic, which people call digestion, okay? This is the topic that people call digestion, but it is more than digestion. Topic 7 is 4 parts. Right. The good thing is I'm getting to show you right now. I'm not getting to write because if I was writing, it'd take us a little bit of time. But here I'm just going to be showing you and then we cover it as fast as we can. There are 4 parts that you have to know. It's not a negotiation. You have to know these 4 parts for you to ever claim to us that you know chapter 7. If you don't know all 4 parts, then forget about it. You don't know chapter 7, my friend. You do not know it. One is balanced diet. And what you must know about the balanced diet is this. You must know what it is, and you must know the 7 nutrients. There are 7 types of nutrients that are going to be necessary for you to have a balanced diet. At your age, we say that a balanced diet is a meal that has all the nutrients in their correct amounts or in their correct proportions. But what we know is that we cannot teach you at IGCSE how to balance proportions. What we want to teach you is how to at least make sure that your meal has all the 7 essential nutrients. So you must know the nutrients, all the 7, and you must know their sources. What food? What is an example of a food that can give me this nutrient? And you make sure you can take and make sure you have all the 7 nutrients in each and every meal. So you must know about a balanced diet. Okay, first of all, that's the first thing. And when you know about a balanced diet, we then focus on 2 types of vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D. And we're going to see the diseases you can get if you don't have them. What types of deficiencies? They're called deficiency diseases, which means diseases that come from lacking these vitamins. So we'll talk about vitamin C and vitamin D. Those are the only vitamins you need to know at IGCSE level. But there are others. Vitamin B12. Oh, these are the vitamins. But you only have to know C and D. And the deficiency diseases that can be caused by not having them. Then you should now go to the second part, which is digestion, which we started talking about last time. Then you go to when you know digestion, you must know what happens in the stomach, in the small intestines, in the large intestines. You must know what happens in each of the stages. Then you must know the enzymes that are involved in digestion. And now, finally, you look at the last part, which is how does absorption happen? In other words, how does the body absorb nutrients that it wants? If you know these parts, you know digestion. So balanced diet, make sure you know it. Digestive system, make sure you know the digestive system, the 11 parts. Make sure you know the 3 enzymes, the 3 types of enzymes that take place in digestion and where they act. Then make sure you know absorption, which is how does it happen? What is villi and what is microvilli? And how do they work together to make sure that you absorb the nutrients your body needs? And this happens in the small intestines, the duodenum. Let's go there and let's see. Balanced diet has 7 essential nutrients. Here are the 7 essential nutrients that you must have for a balanced diet. You must have carbohydrates, you must have proteins, you must have lipids. Okay, so some of them you know them already from primary. The one that maybe you may not know would be dietary fiber and maybe minerals. I don't know. You talked about them definitely. So carbohydrates, number one. Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins, minerals, dietary fiber, water. You must be able to write down this. You must be able to write this down. So you can pause and write down the video if you ever watch this video, because I'll be just moving. Carbohydrates. You must know the function of each of these. What are these called, class? Students, what are these? These are the 7 essential nutrients. These are the 7 nutrients that make up a balanced diet. These are the 7 nutrients that you must have for us to say you are eating a balanced diet. Now, all of you must have it. You must have all these 7 in each meal. Carbohydrates, why do you need them? You must know why you need each of the nutrients, okay? And then you must know where to get them. So the first thing, you must know the 7 nutrients by name, their function, and which types of food you can get. Carbohydrates are a source of energy. Lipids are a storage of energy. This is different. Carbohydrates are used when we need energy right here, right now. Lipids are used when we will need energy later. We are fine as for now. We want to store this energy so that we use it later. Because you may need energy later, but maybe later you won't be eating. You would not have eaten anything, but now your body needs energy. So where will it get it? Will it force you to eat? No, maybe you can't eat, you're busy with something, but your body needs energy to keep working. So now it will then go to the fats where the energy was stored, and it will now break down those fats and then use the energy. So fats are when we want to store energy for later. Fats help with energy storage. So these are energy storage. Then this is a source of energy right now. Both of them are sources of energy, but one is for later, one is for now. That is the only difference between lipids and carbohydrates. Of course, you will use also lipids for insulation. People with big bodies don't really feel cold, okay? Now you go to the next thing, which is proteins. The third thing. Proteins are used for growing, not for energy. So once you talk about growth, it will be proteins. Not only growth, repair of some tissues. Repair. So they are used for growth and for repair. It's only proteins. Don't force anything else there. Right, for growth. Now we go to vitamins and minerals because they are the same. You need them in small amounts. And these are important because they help you to stay healthy. They help you to maintain health, both vitamins and minerals. Don't let me down. These two have a similar function. It's all about health. And you actually get them from similar things. Vitamins and minerals, mostly fruits and vegetables. But what you see is for minerals, it's also meat and cheese, and these are the dairy products. They help to maintain health, and they're also sources of protein. Anyway, vitamins and minerals are for health. Then we are looking at the last one. We said carbohydrates provide immediate energy. They are a source of energy for right here, right now. So for the body's current needs. Then lipids store energy for later use. Long-term energy reserve. Lipids are a long-term energy reserve. Proteins are for growth and repair of cells and tissues. Then we said vitamins and minerals are to maintain health. Then now we need the last two. The last two, dietary fiber. This is all about the smooth movement of food in your body. So these help food to move through the intestines, especially the small intestines. This will be your dietary fiber. That's all what it is about, to help food to move through the intestine. Then when you come for water, water is necessary for the reactions that are happening in your cells. For you to be alive right now, your cells are active and you need water for those reactions. Those reactions need water. You need to drink water every day. These give you the 7 essential things. Now, for dietary fiber, which we said is solely for movement of food, remember to eat whole grains. For minerals, we said vegetables, meat, whatever. And the same for vitamins. Everybody knows that vitamins, you get them from fruit and vegetables. What about the lipids? These are so the tricky ones would be dietary fiber. Don't let me down. Whole grains. You want food to move nicely in your body? Whole grains. Whole grains will be things like wheat, sorghum, millet, rapoko, rice. All these are whole grains. Whole grains help you when you want to have food move through your intestines. There are a lot of whole grains. You can search them up. That's what it helps with. Then minerals are to maintain health. They are similar to vitamins, but the source is slightly different. For minerals, you'll be having dairy products, and meat, dairy products and meat. Then here, carbohydrates, everybody knows you get them from these cereals, potatoes, bread, rice, things that give you starch. They are a source of carbohydrates. Then proteins will be mostly meat and beans and eggs. Things that if you go, they tell you need this to build your body. Meat, fish, beans, eggs, whatever. Then lipids now. Be careful here. Watch out for lipids, just like for minerals. For minerals, we said dairy products. For dietary fiber, we said whole grains. For lipids, it's now nuts. Nuts and butter. You can put butter, but mostly nuts. Nuts. All right. Now you are done. What do you know? You know the first part of chapter 7. You tick. If there's something to come and revise, come and revise. Make sure you know the source. Make sure you know the 7 nutrients. You know what they help you with. Make sure you know the source. You're not about to let me down. No. You can't afford to do that. Now you go to the second thing that you are supposed to know from chapter 7 as well. I already told you. I told you that we will now focus on 2 vitamins that are deadly when they are not found, especially in babies. Okay? Especially if you're dealing with vitamin D. Listen now, vitamin C and vitamin D. C causes, when you don't have it, vitamin C. If it's not there, you will have a deficiency disease called scurvy. A person who lacks vitamin C will suffer from scurvy. A person who lacks vitamin D will suffer from rickets. Now, we will study scurvy and rickets a little bit down there. But I just want you to know that if a person doesn't have vitamin C, they suffer from scurvy. C, scurvy. Then vitamin D, rickets. Only 2 vitamins. Surely your memory can remember this. What is vitamin C important for? Before we're going to study the scurvy and the rickets and see what it looks like on a person. But basically, vitamin C is important for collagen. Collagen is going to be found in skin, the gums, bones. Collagen is a very, very important thing. I think you can even research to see, can you find collagen in hair? But skin, gums, bones, collagen is important. So imagine you don't have it. There's going to be a problem with gums. There's going to be a problem with gums. Also a problem with bones, but a problem with gums. It's important for gums, this vitamin C. Why? Because it produces collagen. Vitamin D does not produce anything, but it helps the body absorb calcium. Calcium is here. It is needed for strong bones. So, vitamin D, you can say it is needed for strong bones indirectly, because what vitamin D does is when it's in the body, it will help the body to absorb calcium into the blood. So if you ever want to absorb calcium, you need vitamin D. And here are the sources for the different vitamins. Vitamin C its function is to produce collagen for gums and for skin. This one, its function is to help the body absorb calcium. Don't put your own function. Here are the functions. Don't let me down. Now, calcium, which vitamin D helps the body to absorb, the function of calcium is for strong bones. That's the most important one. Strong bones and also strong teeth. Strong bones, strong teeth. Now, that calcium is only absorbed if you have vitamin D. All right. Now, let's talk about the sources. Vitamin C for gums. For gums, you get it from eggs. No, you get it from, eggs is vitamin D. You get it from citrus fruits. Citrus fruits, basically, just say citrus fruits, you would have covered a lot for vitamin C. Then when you go to vitamin D, it's similar to what we had said above when we were talking about our dietary fiber. We said you need whole grain. Don't forget, dietary fiber, we said you needed whole grain meals. And then we said you also need, let me write here with a pen, the tricky ones. It's for food to slide down. That's the only importance of this guy. Minerals. You need what we call dairy products. Now you come here, okay? I always want you guys to know this. This is very important because these students forget this. Students always forget these two. And lipids as well. I see some weird stuff, especially about last month when I was doing with the other guys. Weird stuff. Lipids, these ones we said you need nuts, please. Now, when you come to this, vitamin C, you need citrus fruits, and vitamin D is similar to minerals. Because minerals and vitamins are like similar things because they just help with health. They help with health. So when you come to vitamin D, think of minerals and think that you need dairy products, cheese, milk, stuff like that. All right. Here, calcium, you can see here, they are just trying to give you different name, but it's the same thing. It's like vitamin D, dairy products. So if I'm eating dairy products, I'm getting vitamin D, which would then help me to absorb calcium from the same things. Milk, cheese, eggs. Then now, the last thing which you must know, okay? Before I tell you what scurvy looks like on a person and rickets, the last thing you must know is this thing called iron. Iron is a very, very important substance in your body. You need it. It's not a nutrient, but you need it. You need iron because for your body to be able to grab oxygen, when oxygen goes in, it needs to stick. It needs to stick. And it sticks onto what we call hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is there to transport oxygen. I mean, like we can say to hold on to oxygen. So if you have iron, it is going to produce hemoglobin. Okay? Or we can say it is used to make hemoglobin. And the hemoglobin is used to hold oxygen and transport it to the cells. So the last thing which we need is iron. We saw calcium, you get it from dairy products. Vitamin D, dairy products. Minerals, dairy products. If you want to write them separately, milk, cheese, whatever these yogurts, if you want to write them as one, it's the same thing. Then when you come to iron which you need for hemoglobin, you get it from red meat, you get it from liver and spinach. Vegetarians, spinach, please, for your iron, as your source of iron. Now, we then come to scurvy and rickets. What do they look like when they're on a person? So, what you should know is that these are potential careers of people. What we have been studying, it's actually a career. Food is a big thing because it's directly related to health. So, people actually study food. And when we say this is a nutritionist or whatever, they understand how to fix your diet, looking at your body, because there's one more section which we're going to see is factors that affect dietary needs. Not everyone eats the same food as a balanced diet. Remember, balanced diet, what we know is that all the balanced diets in the world have the same things. What should a balanced diet have? A balanced diet should have the 7 nutrients. But we didn't just say that. We said it must have all 7 nutrients in their correct amounts or in the correct proportions. Now, different people need different proportions. They all need the 7, but they need different. And we will see for young kids, their balanced diet should have protein, but it should have more protein than for an elderly person who's not running around. So this is different. Okay, I'll show you. It's like you change the amounts of these 7, but all 7 must be there, but the amounts are changed because dietary needs are not the same. Okay, dietary needs are not the same. Okay, anyway, vitamin C, we said it's for gums. That is why I was saying gums, gums, gums. Look here, everybody. When you don't have vitamin C, which helps you have strong gums, then look at what is going to happen. Bleeding gums. This is something I met, okay, whilst I was still going to school when I was young. I met somebody who was suffering from this. This is a real thing, so it's not something to ignore. Scurvy, bleeding gums. Gums that always bleed. And you can have tooth loss. Then vitamin D deficiency is weak bones, soft bones. So you know what will happen? A person will end up having bow legs. So their legs will look like this. There'll be bow legs. Then you see their feet like this. This is their feet. But look at their legs now, guys. These will be the legs of someone. Why does this person have bow legs? Why are the legs not straight like this? The legs are no longer straight because the bones are weak and soft and they have become deformed. So vitamin D is required for calcium absorption. Vitamin D deficiency, not calcium deficiency, causes rickets. This is a problem that some students do. Calcium, if you lack calcium, you have rickets. No. If you lack vitamin D, that's when you have rickets. Right. Let's come to this now. The factors that affect diet. How should you play around with the balanced diet? Okay, people need all 7, but who needs more proteins? They will ask you this, okay? You must know this. Just one last. Who needs more proteins? Who needs more carbohydrates? Who needs more? You must know these people need more of this. These people need more of this. Just know this generally. I'll show you the type of questions they'll ask you on this. So we say that different people need different amounts of the nutrients depending on their circumstances. Children need more protein and more carbs because they are active and also because they are growing. Proteins are needed for growth and repair of tissues. So if we want growth, protein, protein, protein. And children need a lot of protein. You give them milkshakes, you give them eggs, you give them all these beans and all these sources of protein, meat. Children need that more than anything. What about pregnant women and then breastfeeding mothers? Pregnant women need energy, need calcium, need iron. They need iron. They need calcium and they need energy. Iron from what? From spinach or red meat. Iron from spinach or red meat. Calcium from what? From same things as vitamin D, dairy products, milk and cheese. I told you this. Huh? Energy from what? If you need energy right now, where do you go? Carbs, carbohydrates. So these are things that spinach, red meat, these are things we must have that must be there in abundance when we have pregnant women. Understand this, please, students. This is real life. How can you not be excited when you're learning things that are useful? Same as the mothers, breastfeeding mothers. It's just the same, basically. They need a lot of energy, a whole lot of energy. So a whole lot of carbs and a whole lot of stuff. And then calcium is a whole lot of dairy products. Oh, I brought you a yogurt. Thank you. I brought you a lot of cheese so that you can have it with your bread in the morning. Wow, thank you. And all these other and milk and stuff. Then now you go to activity level. People that are active, they need a lot of energy again. So they need a lot of carbs. Okay? There we go. They need a lot of present energy. These people that are active doing sports and stuff. A lot of you guys do this. So you need a lot of energy, okay? You need a whole lot of energy, which is stuff from not really sweet stuff, because sweet stuff give you energy, but they also come with other problems. So you can have more like, the starch and stuff like that. Well done. So now everybody knows, and now we'll be back at digestion. This is background. So I think I don't want to keep going. This is the last part which I'll do with you guys in the next bio lesson. By the time we get to the weekend, we are doing reproduction. So this is going to be fast. You can take these notes, go through them. Show me you're hungry. Huh? Take these things, go through them. Stay focused. Anotida, everybody, stay focused. Go through the resources that I'm giving you. Keep practicing them. Matipa, are we together? I don't want you guys to have any weak spot. Don't ignore anything. Go through everything. The things you hate, the things you love, the things you hate, balance it. Balance it. Keep going through everything and make sure you're thorough. So basically, what is next for you guys to say you're done with this? We won't cover it today. But what you now need to know is just what goes on in those 11 parts of the digestive system. We kind of talked about it. I'll do the next lesson from the bottom going up. Okay, which means I'm going to start with the 3 enzymes and where you find them. Then I'll talk about absorption and the 5 things that you should know when you're looking at the microvilli and the villi. I'll show you where people get confused. The difference between villi and microvilli and stuff, and then how they work. What are the things that they have to help in absorbing nutrients? The questions you can get on that, we cover them. And then we will do the 11 stages one more time. We'll be done with this chapter. Next, we go through reproduction in humans and in plants. All the things like sexual versus asexual. We see what are the benefits, does each cause variation or what. We'll talk about it and we'll see the advantages and disadvantages. It's nice. Bio is nice. Let's enjoy it. We'll meet again in the next bio lesson. Let me mark the register, then you are dismissed. Give me a minute. Let me stop the live on YouTube.